Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
My journey has been, mostly revolving around technology. My tech journey started somewhere around 2007, 2008. I was always fascinated by physics and electronics. One of the first technical projects that I worked on was for the particle accelerator. I was designing sensors for particle accelerator, which the difficulty of the problem statements that I dealt with, they always kept me taking to space. So these problem statement of particle accelerator had nothing to do with space, but the requirement of radiation tolerance, having electronics which could tolerate radiations, indirectly took me to space sector. Then I started working on semiconductor electronics for transparent sensors for solar cells, which were mounted on CubeSats, and that's something that again took me to space. And then I worked in France for design of AI systems. This is back in 2010 when AI had not even become as big it is. And the one of the themes over there was, can we design intelligence which is sustainable? So the problem that we were trying to solve is we were trying to address intelligence with sustainability. And that's where we started looking at inspiration from nature or biology, what we call as bio-inspired computing, natural computing, or neuromorphic computing. And that again goes back to space, because when you work in the space sector, you don't have lavish resources. You have to make ways with minimal amount of power or energy. So again, doing processing is one thing, but doing it in an energy efficient way is more challenging, and that links you back to space. So on the entrepreneurial side, our journey again has been driven by trying to solve problems. We are always driven by problems that we come across. One of the first problem statements, 2016 or 17, we were just attending a meeting. There was a casual chat, and the Atal Innovation Mission director, he mentioned that AI ML is an upcoming thing. Can you make, we don't have any toys or gamified ways to teach people from the non-formal sector concepts of AI. So that gap or that problem just stuck, and we went back and asked ourselves, can we come up with a solution? And we applied our expertise of edge AI or extremely low power AI, and we came up with something known as Buddhi Kits. That's build, understand, design, develop human-like intelligence. Though it's extremely dumb, but that's just a catchphrase. But it's a gamified version to teach AI, and this became one of the world's first DIY AI kits. It was widely appreciated by the government. It was deployed in several schools and so on. The next problem statement that we came across was healthcare. Again, the question thrown was, if you go to tier 2 or tier 3 cities, there is a resource crunch of trained pathologists. Can you do something about it? So we built some solutions where you can process the data collected in path labs on the edge, and that could figure out some basic pathology diseases or conditions. And like that, in 2020 or 21, the Ministry of Defense released a challenge for AI in space or AI-based processing of space data. So this was when the defense space challenges were not even formalized. This was one of the first AI challenges for space, and we got selected in it, and we were able to design a solution which met the requirements of the users. It became one of the country's first AI solutions to clear the user field trials and get actually deployed and operationalized with the Indian government and the users. So it was thanks to the IDEX system. It also became one of the first academic solution to enter the positive indigenization list, the 5th positive indigenization list. I'd like to touch upon some points that I feel what are essential, are central if any one of you are thinking of going the innovation route or the entrepreneurship in deep tech. These are the things that are key You need to plan, you need to communicate, conceptualize. There has to be a lot of validation, reiterations. There has to be a vision, and obviously teamwork. Most of the speakers, previous speakers, they also touched upon these points. And again, you have to raise funds. So faculty inherently make up for these requirements, because when they are doing projects or research, maybe not for the entrepreneurial part, but for the academic part, they're always trying to wear all these hats. So these are the essential elements that would help you on the entrepreneurial part as well. But what's missing there is the marketing or understanding the market. Because when we enter from the academic side to building entrepreneurial solutions, we are technology driven. But our learning in the last 8 or 9 years is that you cannot ignore the user driven side or the customer side, and that is the unlearning or relearning that we had to do, or we are still doing. We are still trying to keep up with it. And I'll just conclude with some key learnings so far in my journey. You absolutely have to make a start. There will never be that one fine ideal day or moment when a situation or one fine situation where you have covered something, you have read about something, and now you're satisfied. No matter at what level you are, you have to plunge, you have to take the plunge, and then you have to try to find out your way to swim across. You just cannot wait for that ideal moment. If you are in tech, you must always think about the barriers to entry that you are creating, which means the IP, or what are your restrictions. In this journey, you have to be extremely frugal, because tech is very competitive. It has a very fast roadmap, so you have to make your plans which are frugal. And your customers or your users are your best teachers, and also they are the most satisfying. If the technology that you work with, if someone uses it, that's the most satisfactory feeling. And the most important ingredient on which I'd like to end is perseverance. It's a daily up and down, and in that sense, what helps the training from academia, what helps is if something fails in research, for us even that is a result, because we know that it's a way how something should not be done, or we analyze it. So you should approach technology or entrepreneurship with the same frame of mind, that it's not a failure, it's just figuring out a way that what you need to change. So thank you.